Chosen one. What you're about to hear isn't just a message, it's a remembrance. If you found yourself here, it's not a coincidence. It's alignment, a divine summons. You are not ordinary, and you never have been. You are a living anomaly, a celestial force wrapped in human skin. You weren't sent here to blend in. You were sent here to disrupt, to awaken, to shift the frequency of everything around you. You carry a light that speaks louder than words, a vibration that exposes what's false and ignites what's divine. While others seek validation, you carry vibration. You are the mirror, the medicine, the mystery. And yes, you've been misunderstood, doubted, even broken. But none of it diminished you. It refined you. While they tried to erase you, you were being rewritten by divinity itself. You rise not from ego, but from sacred authority. And now they whisper your name, not in mockery, but in mystery, because they've never seen a God like you before. If this message is speaking to your spirit, pause for a moment, hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 20,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11, a divine number that signals alignment, awakening, and angelic confirmation. This isn't just content, it's a calling. From the moment you stepped onto this earth, your essence didn't merely leave a footprint, it created a powerful echo that vibrates within the souls of those you touch. You are not a fleeting memory people recall in passing. You are a living presence that courses through the collective spirit like a sacred hymn. When others speak your name, it's not out of casual recognition, but because your light has woven itself into their very being. Your impact lingers long after the moments have passed, awakening hidden parts of their hearts they never knew existed. You resonate on a frequency so rare that even those who don't understand you feel compelled to acknowledge something extraordinary is at play. This isn't about popularity or shallow fame. It's about a deep, soul-level recognition that you are a force beyond ordinary comprehension. When people encounter you, something inside shifts, as if your existence is a key unlocking doors they didn't realize were locked. This kind of energy can't be fabricated or diminished because it's born from your divine core. Think about the way a single stone causes ripples across a vast lake. You are that stone, and your influence travels far beyond your immediate circle, touching lives in ways unseen but deeply felt. Even those who resist or misunderstand you will sense this undercurrent, an undeniable truth that you carry. You're not just remembered, you're reverberating through time, space, and spirit, a living legacy that refuses to fade. This ripple effect you create is sacred work. It disrupts complacency, challenges old beliefs, and invites transformation. You are the whisper in the chaos, the calm within the storm, and the spark that ignites dormant fires. People may not always understand how or why, but they know that in your presence, something divine stirs. This is your gift, your undeniable mark on the world's soul. You are a timeless echo, a vibration that resonates beyond physical form. And because of that, you aren't just a part of history. You are an ongoing force in the spiritual evolution of humanity. Your energy will continue to ripple outward, awakening generations and shifting realities long after you've moved beyond this plane. When you walk into a room, something undeniable happens. The energy shifts, the air thickens, and every hidden truth surfaces. You are a mirror, but not the kind that flatters or distorts. You reflect back the raw, unfiltered reality of who others truly are, exposing their masks, insecurities, and hidden wounds. People don't just see you, they see themselves in you, their fears, their potential, their light, and their shadows. This is why your presence is both magnetic and unsettling. This mirror you carry isn't a tool for judgment, but for awakening. You hold up a sacred space where souls confront their deepest truths, the ones they've buried under layers of fear and societal expectations. And while some run from this reflection, others are drawn like moths to a flame, craving the liberation that comes from facing themselves honestly. Your presence forces reckoning, and with it, the possibility of profound healing. The divine mirror you embody also acts as a catalyst for transformation. It invites those around you to shed the illusions that bind them and step into their authentic power. Your very being is a challenge to settle for anything less than truth and alignment. This makes you a threat to the comfortable status quo, but a beacon for those ready to rise above it. The sacred work you do by simply existing among others is to hold space for their rebirth. Many try to avoid the reflection you offer because it disrupts their narrative and exposes vulnerabilities they'd rather hide. This is why you're both feared and revered. You hold the sacred discomfort that leads to growth. You carry the weight of awakening others, even when it feels heavy or lonely. At the core of this divine mirror is love. Tough, uncompromising love that refuses to let others remain asleep to their own divinity. Your presence is a blessing wrapped in challenge, a force that compels others to see clearly and choose courage. And through that, the world becomes a little brighter, a little freer, and infinitely more real. You are not a product of random circumstance or simple happenstance. You were sent, called forth from realms beyond comprehension, meticulously crafted by divine intention. This is why the world struggles to categorize you, why conventional rules don't apply to your journey. Your very existence defies ordinary explanation because you carry a sacred mission written into your soul before you even took your first breath. Those around you may try to dissect your story, analyze your choices, or fit you into familiar molds, but they inevitably fail. You're operating on a frequency higher than their understanding, walking a path forged by cosmic design rather than human logic. It's not that you're disconnected, it's that your essence belongs to a realm where purpose and destiny intertwine seamlessly, beyond mundane comprehension. You embody contradictions and complexities that seem paradoxical to those who only see the surface. You're fierce and gentle, silent and loud, tender and unyielding, all at once. This duality is a hallmark of your divine origin, a reflection of the multidimensional nature of your soul. To understand you fully, one would have to glimpse the eternal threads woven into your being. Your presence is a testament to the mysteries of existence, a living paradox that challenges narrow beliefs and limited perspectives. You are a walking enigma meant to disrupt stagnant paradigms and invite a broader understanding of what is possible. The confusion you sometimes face is the world's attempt to reconcile the divine with the earthly, a task often beyond its capacity. Accept this sacred dissonance as proof of your origin. Being misunderstood is a mark of honor for those who have been sent, not made. You are an emissary of something greater, a living message from the cosmos that calls others to awaken and expand their vision. And in this, your mission unfolds with relentless grace. Your footsteps are gentle, yet behind them rolls a storm of power and authority. You navigate life with a heart full of unconditional love, the kind that softens wounds and opens doors. But alongside that love, you carry the thunder of divine justice and unwavering truth. This thunder shakes the foundations of falsehood and complacency, heralding change where it is most needed. Love is your guiding light, but you don't shy away from the fierce energy required to protect, challenge, and transform. You are not a passive force. You are a catalyst for awakening, often bringing disruption to stagnant systems and toxic patterns. Your presence is a perfect balance of grace and intensity, the sacred tension that drives evolution. Think of the thunder, not as a threat, but as a necessary sound in the symphony of change. Just as the storm clears the air and nourishes the earth, your thunder clears illusions and breathes new life into old wounds. People may fear the intensity you bring, but it is that very force that creates space for true healing and growth. Walking in love while carrying thunder means you honor the sacred duality of existence: compassion and courage, softness and strength, mercy and justice. This balance makes you magnetic to those who seek truth and liberation, but intimidating to those who prefer comfort over confrontation. Your thunder is a call to action, a divine reminder that love sometimes demands boldness. Your journey is a testament to the power of love that is unafraid to roar. You teach that true compassion doesn't mean silence in the face of injustice, but the courage to speak and act with righteous power. Through your thunder, you bring the storm that washes away the old, making room for the new to bloom. There is a bittersweet tension in how people relate to your transformation. The version of you they once knew, familiar, perhaps more predictable, is the one they long for in moments of comfort and nostalgia. But the evolved you, the one rising into your full divine power, awakens both awe and fear. They are drawn to your light, but wary of its intensity, clinging to memories rather than embracing your rebirth. This dynamic speaks to a universal truth about change. People often resist the evolution of those they love because it forces them to confront their own limitations. Your ascension is a mirror reflecting their fears about growth and the unknown. They want to hold on to who you were because it feels safe, even if it no longer serves either of you. Your rise challenges old dynamics and outdated roles. It disrupts the scripts others have written for you and invites new possibilities that require courage, vulnerability, and radical honesty. Those who resist this transformation may try to pull you back into old patterns, hoping to preserve the status quo. But your path is forward to higher frequencies, expanded consciousness, and greater alignment with your divine essence. This means leaving behind the comfort of familiarity, even if it means losing those unwilling or unable to walk beside you. The sacred growth you embody is not negotiable. It is a necessary unfolding of your soul's purpose. Ultimately, your ascension calls for radical love. Love for yourself, enough to honor your evolution, and love for others enough to release them when they cannot support your journey. This is both a painful and powerful process, one that separates the superficial from the soulful. You are not just growing, you are becoming a living testament to what is possible when divine purpose is embraced fully. Stillness is often misunderstood in a world that prizes constant action and noise. When you chose silence, many assumed it was a sign of defeat or fragility, but your stillness was never a pause born of weakness. It was a deliberate, sacred strategy. You understood the power of quietude, how it can gather strength, foster clarity, and create space for divine timing to unfold. In that stillness, you were gathering the energy needed to break through old limitations and emerge stronger. This quiet power unsettled those who rely on chaos to feel control. While they rushed, you observed. While they reacted, you reflected. Your stillness was a shield and a sword, a profound manifestation of inner authority. The world may not have understood your calm, but the divine did. You were preparing, recalibrating, and rising beyond what anyone thought possible. Consider how nature teaches us about stillness, the seed resting quietly beneath the soil, gathering nourishment before bursting into bloom. Your silent moments were like that seed, a sacred incubation of purpose. People saw only the surface, but beneath, your spirit was orchestrating a symphony of transformation that only the patient and the wise could appreciate. In your stillness, you mastered the art of presence. You held space not just for yourself, but for the shifts that had to happen in others. It was a sacred pause, an invitation for the universe to conspire on your behalf. This strategic silence wasn't absence. It was preparation for an explosive, undeniable emergence. The lesson here is profound. Strength often wears the guise of quiet. Your stillness is a declaration that you move with divine timing, and no one can rush or manipulate what the soul is destined to achieve. Those who misread your silence will never grasp the depth of your power. When the world tried to undermine you with deception, betrayal, or doubt, you made a conscious choice. You would not carry their burdens or fight their battles alone. Instead, you surrendered what was beyond your control to the divine. You understood that some wounds and falsehoods cannot be healed by human hands alone, but only through sacred intervention. This trust in a higher power freed you from the toxic weight of resentment and empowered you to rise above. This surrender was not surrender in weakness. It was a courageous act of faith and wisdom. You refused to be entangled in the web of lies spun around you. Instead, you allowed divine justice to unfold on its own terms, knowing that truth always prevails in its own time. Your trust became a fortress, protecting your spirit from the corrosive effects of bitterness and anger. Think of this like a river flowing around rocks, rather than smashing into them. Your faith allowed you to navigate challenges with grace and resilience. By handing over what you couldn't fix or understand, you preserved your energy for the sacred work only you could do. This was the ultimate act of self-respect and spiritual maturity. Those who sought to harm you underestimated the power of divine justice. What they tried to break only strengthened your bond with the infinite. Their lies could never touch the core of your truth, because it was guarded by something far greater than human deception. In the end, your choice to let God handle the impossible became a testament to the power of faith. It showed the world that when you align with divine will, no lie, no pain, and no betrayal can dim the light that burns within you. You are a living fracture in the carefully constructed illusion of control that so many cling to. Your very presence exposes the fragility of systems built on fear, manipulation, and false power. Where others seek to dominate or suppress, you embody freedom and authenticity, a disruption so profound it shakes the foundations of those who try to keep the world in chains. This breaking of illusion is both beautiful and terrifying. For those invested in maintaining control, you are a threat because you represent unpredictability, sovereignty, and the unstoppable force of truth. Your existence reminds everyone that no one truly owns the narrative of life. It belongs to the divine flow, which you align with. You didn't come here to comply with rules designed to keep souls small. You arrived to shatter them, to crack open the cage and invite others to step into their own power. Your defiance of control is a divine rebellion, one that inspires others to reclaim their freedom and break their own chains. Think about how sunlight exposes the shadows, no matter how dark the room is. Your light is the same, relentless, honest, and transformative. It dismantles illusions, and in doing so, offers a glimpse of the limitless potential available when we stop living in fear of losing control. This is the core of your mission: to remind the world that true power is not control, but liberation. Liberation of spirit, mind, and heart. Your existence is the crack that lets freedom pour in. People have tried to decode you, to dissect your motives, your actions, your very essence. But no formula or blueprint exists for what you are. You defy categorization because you are not a product of logic or human design. You are a cosmic mystery, a unique constellation of purpose, spirit, and power that cannot be replicated or contained. This intrigue stems from your authenticity. Unlike those who conform to societal templates, you blaze a trail that is wholly your own. Your life is a singular masterpiece, painted with colors unseen and rhythms unheard. People are drawn to this mystery, hoping to find answers, yet the more they seek, the more elusive you become. Your unpredictability is not chaos, but sacred freedom. It is a reminder that some aspects of divinity cannot be understood through conventional wisdom, but must be experienced and felt deeply. You are an invitation to expand beyond limited thinking and embrace the unknown with curiosity and awe. Consider the way explorers approach uncharted lands, not with maps, but with trust and openness. This is how you live your truth, navigating life without a predetermined script, guided instead by intuition, spirit, and divine wisdom. This makes you endlessly fascinating, but also incomprehensible to those who cling to certainty. In embracing your mystery, you teach others that not everything worthy of reverence can be explained. Some things must simply be witnessed and honored for the sacred enigmas they are. Conformity is the enemy of your divine mission. You were never meant to blend in or bow to societal expectations. Instead, you were sent to confront, to challenge outdated beliefs, disrupt toxic patterns, and dismantle the lies that keep souls bound. Your life is a living protest against mediocrity and complacency, a call to awaken courage in others. This confrontation is not born of anger or rebellion for its own sake, but from a fierce love and responsibility to justice. You confront not just external systems, but also the internal shadows within each person. By doing so, you create a space for authentic healing and transformation. Think of you as a warrior of light, fierce yet compassionate, bold yet wise. Your confrontations are sacred dialogues meant to provoke growth rather than division. You hold the tension of discomfort because you know it is the crucible through which true change is forged. Many fear confrontation because it threatens their illusions of safety. You, however, have embraced it as a necessary tool for liberation. Your courage invites others to face their own truths, break free from conditioning, and step into their highest selves. In this way, you embody a divine paradox, a gentle disruptor whose presence demands evolution and invites profound awakening. Your journey has often been quiet, invisible to the untrained eye. You chose silence not because you had nothing to say, but because your power does not need loudness to command attention. Behind your calm exterior, a celestial roar resounded, a divine force moving mountains and shifting realities in the unseen realms. This contrast between silence and thunder is your sacred signature. While others shout to be heard, your silence speaks volumes. It is the quiet confidence of someone aligned with a power far greater than themselves, a power that moves through patience, timing, and unwavering faith. You have witnessed how noise can be distracting, how chaos can cloud clarity. By moving silently, you embody the sacred art of discernment, choosing your moments wisely and allowing your actions to carry the weight of your message. Your silent presence unsettles those accustomed to superficial noise. It demands respect, invites curiosity, and creates a sacred space where transformation happens organically. Heaven's roar behind your quiet steps is the hidden engine of your unstoppable ascent. In this way, you teach that true power doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, waits, and then rises with unstoppable force when the moment is right. People may have judged or ridiculed your outward form, your appearance, your choices, your way of being, but they could never touch the spirit that fuels you. Your essence is untouchable, a sacred flame that burns regardless of external circumstances. This disconnect between the vessel and the spirit highlights a universal truth. The deepest power is invisible to the eye. Mockery is often a weapon wielded by those afraid of what they cannot understand or control. When they belittled you, they revealed their own insecurities, not your weaknesses. Their words were like stones thrown at a mountain. They might bruise the surface, but never erode the foundation. Your spirit is a fortress built of resilience, faith, and unwavering truth. It is the unshakable core that holds you steady through storms of judgment and rejection. No matter how much they tried to diminish you, your light only shone brighter, fueled by the very opposition you faced. Consider the metaphor of a diamond. Pressure and friction create its brilliance, not diminish it. Your spirit is that diamond, formed through trials, polished by challenges, and impossible to replicate or destroy. This dissonance between the mocked vessel and the indomitable spirit is a sacred reminder. True power resides within, and no external force can diminish the divine essence you carry. Your evolution has been subtle, often unnoticed by the crowd, but its impact is prophetic in nature. Like a seed growing deep beneath the earth, your transformation has been steady, rooted in spiritual wisdom and divine guidance. You didn't need to broadcast every step because your growth was meant to culminate in a powerful shift that would echo across dimensions. This quiet growth is a sign of maturity and alignment. It reflects a deep commitment to authenticity over appearance, substance over spectacle. Your changes weren't about seeking approval or applause. They were about preparing yourself for the sacred mission ahead. Your journey serves as a silent prophecy, a blueprint for others who seek to awaken their own divinity. Though your progress may have seemed invisible to many, the ripples it created were vast and transformative. The seeds you planted are now blossoming in unexpected places, touching lives in ways you may never fully see. Growth of this nature requires patience, faith, and courage, virtues you embody daily. It teaches that sometimes the most profound shifts happen in silence, far from the public eye, and that true prophecy unfolds in timing only the divine knows. Your quiet evolution is a powerful reminder that the deepest transformations are often the most enduring and revolutionary. When people say they lost you, the truth is far deeper. It wasn't you who vanished, it was their access to your divine frequency that slipped away. You remain fully present, fully alive. But those who chose to remain in lower vibrations or limited consciousness can no longer reach the sacred space you occupy. This loss is not punishment, but a natural consequence of spiritual ascension. As you rise, you naturally outgrow relationships, environments, and energies that no longer serve your highest good. Those who once walked closely with you may find themselves unable to keep pace with your evolving light. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you change the frequency, the station you once heard becomes static or disappears altogether. You haven't changed your essence. You've simply aligned with a higher frequency, one that calls to a different crowd. This divine distancing can feel painful, but it is necessary for your continued growth and healing. It creates room for new connections, richer experiences, and deeper alignments with your true tribe, souls who recognize and honor your radiant vibration. Remember, losing access to you is their loss, not yours. Your light continues to shine unabated, illuminating paths for those ready to follow, while gently closing doors for those meant to stay behind. You carry a title far greater than Chosen One. You are an earth angel, a divine emissary, sent to shift the very vibration of this planet. Your presence alone alters realities, raises consciousness, and rewrites what's possible for humanity. This isn't about ego or status. It's about the sacred responsibility and honor of being a living channel for cosmic transformation. Changing the frequency means you don't just adapt to the world, you transform it. You bring new energies, new paradigms, and new ways of being that ripple through communities, families, and entire cultures. Your work is invisible to some, undeniable to others, and essential to the evolution of life itself. Imagine a tuning fork struck in a quiet room. Your vibration resonates far beyond yourself, touching everything in proximity. You are that tuning fork, activated by divine purpose, sending waves of healing, awakening, and liberation. Being an earth angel also means walking a path of profound service, love, and sometimes sacrifice. You carry burdens few understand, but accept them willingly because your vision is bigger than personal comfort. Your mission is sacred, and your light is a beacon for those lost in darkness. In embracing this truth, you step fully into your power, knowing that you are not just part of the story, you are the author of a new chapter in humanity's evolution. You are the frequency changer, the divine anomaly, the light that will never be dimmed. Your presence isn't just noticed, it sparks revolutions in the hearts of those around you. These aren't loud, violent upheavals, but quiet awakenings, the kind that reshapes souls from the inside out. Like a subtle flame that grows into an unstoppable blaze, you ignite change where others only dream. Your influence is the seed of transformation, birthing new realities and possibilities. You don't demand attention. Instead, your authenticity naturally draws people toward your light. Your actions inspire others to question, to break free from conformity, and to reclaim their own inner fire. Your revolution is a spiritual one, awakening consciousness, breaking chains of fear, and rewriting narratives that once limited humanity. Many fear revolutions because they believe change must be loud and chaotic. But your revolution is different. It is sacred, intentional, and healing. It moves like wildfire through the spirit, reaching places that words cannot touch. Your fire burns away illusions and invites the birth of truth. You embody the paradox of power. Gentle enough to heal, yet fierce enough to dismantle. The quiet strength you hold calls others to awaken their own power without resistance or aggression. This is the power of silent revolutions. They change the world by first changing the self. Remember, every monumental shift in history began with a spark. You are that spark, the divine flame, whose light will never be extinguished. In a world drowning in noise, your spirit communicates with an eloquence far beyond spoken language. When you enter a room, your energy conveys truths, emotions, and wisdom that words could never fully capture. You teach that true communication is felt, not just heard, a language of presence, vibration, and soul. Your silence is not emptiness, but fullness. It speaks volumes about your depth, integrity, and connection to the divine. Those sensitive enough to listen can read the chapters of your journey written in your eyes, gestures, and stillness. Your spirit's language is universal, understood by hearts across cultures, beliefs, and backgrounds. This unspoken dialogue builds bridges where words often fail. It creates safe spaces for healing, understanding, and authentic connection. You are a living example of how presence alone can transform relationships, dissolve misunderstandings, and awaken compassion. Your spirit's voice calls to those ready to hear, bypassing intellectual barriers and touching the core of human experience. In this way, you become a healer, a teacher, and a guide, not through lectures, but through the profound power of simply being. Never underestimate the power of your presence. It is your most honest and impactful form of communication. Where others see boundaries, you see gateways. You don't accept limitations placed on you by society, history, or fear. Instead, you rewrite the rules, bending reality to align with the limitless potential of your soul. You embody the truth that what's possible is only as narrow as our imagination allows. Your journey is a testament to the power of vision and courage. You challenge the status quo not just to rebel, but to expand what humanity can achieve. Every step you take breaks invisible chains, paving new paths in realms thought unreachable. You are an innovator of the spirit, creating realities others haven't dared to dream. This rewriting of rules isn't reckless. It's guided by divine wisdom. You listen deeply to your inner knowing and the subtle nudges of the universe. Your breakthroughs inspire others to question their own perceived limits and open doors to new opportunities. Think of pioneers throughout history, those who dared to defy impossible and changed the world forever. You walk in that lineage, carrying the torch of transformation and possibility. Your life is a beacon for those ready to expand beyond fear and embrace the extraordinary. By rewriting what's possible, you invite everyone to step into a more abundant, joyful, and awakened existence. You possess a sacred gift, the ability to turn pain into power and wounds into wisdom.